Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm the Vice Chancellor, as you mentioned, of International Relations of the University Carlos III of Madrid. We are a very young public university, maybe 24 years old. And since the beginning, it was created as a university, an international university, and especially oriented towards research. I will tell you, since I've been the Vice Chancellor since 2 years ago, I will tell you my experience in terms of international mobility and what are the key aspects and goals that we have in terms of cross-continental cooperation. So I'm going to talk about two models to make clear the ideas of the mobility and for cross-cultural mobility and interconnection. And I'm going to talk about the UK and Spain. First, let's look at the UK. As you can see there in the graph, most of the students coming to UK to study, they come from China and India. And then you can see there the rest of the countries. Spain is at the end, so we even send some students to UK, as you will see in a minute. So clearly, a UK model, as you will see in a minute, is oriented toward capturing students, not towards international mobility. Let's look at the case of Spain. Here you have on the left, you have the incoming students, the countries where they come from. In total, we have around 56,000 students. Most of them, as you can see, they come from Latin America. From Germany, we have 1,400 students, more or less. And we send, in the other column, we have students where we send the countries where we send the students. As you can see, most of them they are UK, Germany, France, or United States. So clearly, it's an imbalance in the mobility of students, and clearly that will have important implications. Let's talk about the most important program in the European Union in terms of mobility of students, that is the Erasmus program. Here you have that Spain is the country with the largest number of students in the Erasmus project. What you have here at the bottom is the incoming, the outgoing students, and what you have on the top part is the incoming. So you can see Spain is the largest, and we more or less is balanced. The number of students that we send and we receive is balanced. It's followed by France, Germany, and look at United Kingdom is the fourth, where they receive a lot of students and don't send as much students as they receive. So this is going to have important implications. Spain, as you can see, apologize for the transparency part in Spanish. You can see in the first part of the transparency, the column where the percentage of students over the total number of students that we have. And clearly, Spain is almost 2% of the students are using the Erasmus program. So we are on the top of in Europe in terms of mobility, followed by Portugal, Austria, etc. On the right-hand side, you have the percentage over when the student gets a bachelor, when they graduate, how many of them have been participating in international mobility with the Erasmus program. And you can see that Spain, again, is 10% of the students. When they graduate, they have been abroad, followed by Italy, Austria, again. So in terms of mobility, we are doing fine. These are the top 10 universities in percentage case. Number one is the Czech Republic. This is somewhere here, I think. And then the Netherlands, the University of Maastricht, and we are the third in. And these are using figures of 2010, 2011. But as you will see, the number of students that we move is increasing since I'm the Vice Chancellor of International Relations, and I believe that is one of the main aspects we can give to our students. In my view, all the students should move abroad before they graduate. It's a basic cultural experience that they should, that we should offer to all of our students. But right now, more or less, we move over 10% of our students every year. And what you have in blue color is the Erasmus mobility, and what you have in red color is non-European mobility. As you can see in the last 5 or 6 years, the non-European mobility is increasing a lot. So this means in In total, the way to do that is because we are here in the blue lines, you have the number of countries that we are signing agreements in the European countries. So we have more or less 30 countries, and non-European countries, right now we have like 20 countries. In total, this is the map where the students can move when they come to the University Carlos III. As you can see, they can move through most of the continents. And in total, as a percentage, I said that I would like that 100% of the students move abroad and experience an intercultural experience, but only 30%, almost 40% is the number of students that have this opportunity in Spain. As you can see, as the figures we saw before, the average in Europe is 7%. So clearly we are more internationalized, the average university in Europe. The goal for the European Erasmus Plus program for the program 2020 is 20%. So the goal for the year 2020 is that in the European Union, 20% of the students before they graduate, they move abroad. So we are now in 30%. Of course, as I said, my goal is 100%, so we are far from reaching that goal. So comparing the two models of UK and Spain, what do we learn? UK is centered on low bilateral mobility, but they attract a lot of students. And clearly, for me, that's not the optimal model for internationalization. Spain, as the other stream, we are not in the optimal model. We have a high level of bilateral international mobility, but we don't attract enough students from abroad. From my point of view, the best model is the mixture model, where we attract a lot of students and we have again a lot of mobility. And this is our goal for the next 10 years, to try to build this opportunity. How are the key policy instruments that we can use to build this type of model? So bilingual is the key aspect. We are not from the Anglo-Saxon world, so clearly today the language of English is the scientific language, and if we want to enhance mobility, we have to work with English. So from my point of view, we have to become a bilingual university. Spanish and English, they're two important languages, and we should, from the beginning, work as a bilingual university. And for example, since the beginning, we have been offering English degrees and degrees in bilingual. Bilingual for us means 50% of the credits are in Spanish, 50% in English. So faculty, we should hire faculty from all over the world, the best universities, so that they can teach in English and learn Spanish, and in a few years, most of them that they want to stay at the university permanently, we give them 6 years to learn Spanish. Now, to have bilingual staff, and finally, students fluent in the two languages. So this is the goal. These are the aspects for the university that we'd like to be. Here's as example the number of degrees that we have right now in English. 5 of them are 100% in English, from business to aerospace engineering, biomedical engineering, etc. And then another 12 bachelor degrees that are 50% in English, 50% in Spanish, and 11 that has less than 25%. So this gives you the idea that it's possible to have mobility in all the areas that we cover at the university. Mobility. But however, to attract students, usually they don't know Spanish, especially if you're talking about countries from Asia. So they have to come to study in English. So we are working about moving the English topics to the first 2 years, so that they have 2 years to learn Spanish and then continue their studies in Spanish in the last 2 years. At the master level, we have many degrees. We have 11 in the area of economic and business in English, 1 in law. In engineering, we have 8 masters in English and 4 PhD in general in English as well. So clearly the key aspect for mobility, intercultural mobility, is to be working in at least 2 languages if you are not from the Anglo-Saxon area. So, clearly, since the first time I was nominated Vice Chancellor, I moved to China and I went to international fair, and I noticed that all the students that want to study in English, they don't even stop in the Spanish stand. They thought that to come to Spain, you have to learn Spanish. So clearly something that we need to work to change the image, that you can study in English in Spain, something that, for example, the Netherlands, you have it clearly. You can go to the Netherlands, study in English, but the students don't think that they can come to Spain and study in English. So this is something that we have to work as a country level. So we decided to work as an alliance. So we created an alliance of 4 universities, 2 from Madrid and 2 from Barcelona, to work together, changing the idea of Spain as a country where you have to study in Spanish. Why these 4 universities? Especially because in terms of the rankings, here you have the QS ranking on the top 10 universities, young universities, younger than 25. And as you can see, the 2 universities in Spain are the Pompeu Fabra in Barcelona and the University Carlos III of Madrid. So that's why we decided to join forces. But also, if you include the universities younger than 50, using the QS ranking, the 4 Spanish universities that are on the top 50 are these 4 universities. So we decided to join forces, Madrid and Barcelona, not only because in terms of soccer, when you talk about Madrid and Barcelona, everybody knows, but you talk about Spanish university in Madrid and Barcelona, no one knows. So it's a good idea to work together in those main cities. So finally, what are the key policies for international cultural diplomacy? It's important for us to avoid getting ghettos among students, so all the Chinese students getting together, all the US students getting together. So we want to work in terms of improving the intercultural exchanges. So in order to do that, what do we do? Clearly, this is the number of students that we receive every semester. Clearly, it's not balanced, so we have to work more in the first semester. But as you can see, we receive from a lot of students, 2,000 students from the US and also from other parts of the world. So we don't want the 2,200 students from the US to keep together. We want them to be involved. So how do we do that? So we work from the beginning, starting with the welcome event, where we present the university. We give them a guided tour of the university, a student card certificate as soon as they arrive, where they can start from the beginning using all the sports activity and events and etc. Then we organize in the welcome events for the students. This is the type of activities that we organized. This is the, for example, before they come, the university in the first semester starts in September. So in August, for example, before they come, we organize a picnic at the Central Park in Retiro, and almost 100 students participate every year in this picnic, so they know each other. Then during the week, the first month of September, we organize a lot of activities. We organize picnics at the park, guided tour to Madrid, welcome parties, language exchanges. We put together students that would like to learn English with students that would like to learn Chinese, and they get together. Some of them that would like to learn Spanish, we get together and they teach each other the languages. So, for example, we have around 60 students working in this language exchange program. Then we organize city race trip to Toledo, it's a city in the south of Madrid. Sports activity, we send them to flamenco shows, etc. So we try to put them together and work together and participate together in all activities, not only in academic activities, but social life activities. And also we organize Spanish, as I said, as bilingual university. We want all of them to be fluent in Spanish, and from the beginning, if they don't know any Spanish at all, we give them intensive courses before they come. You have there the 40 hours course, and then we have courses in Spanish through the whole long year. And at the end, we give them the official degree of the Instituto Cervantes, which is the official institute in Spain for the Spanish as a foreign language diploma. Then we work in order for the students to interact, and since the beginning, we work through what we call the buddy programs, where we have around 37 University Carlos III mentors, where they organize group of around 20 people, and each of them is responsible for the semester or the year that the students stay to be the mentor of them. So they contact to each other through Facebook 3 months before they come. They are the person that organize the social activities, the travel, the exchanges through the different, because we also allow them to travel to Morocco, to other countries. So we organize for them this type of activities. And the idea is that they work not only as a group from the same country, but intercultural activities. So this is a typical example of what we call these buddies programs. These are different buddies, and they work together through the long stay at the university. So in total, after the students in general, 80%, even, in Spain we have a huge problem of unemployment, but even in the year 2000, during the crisis, the economic crisis, 88% of undergraduate students found a job within a year. So this means that firms really appreciate the intercultural mobility as something that is important for productivity and for creating business. And usually most of them, following our statistics, the ones that find a job clearly are the first that have been participating in our international mobility program, not only Erasmus program, but also non-European programs. So clearly, for the main conclusion is that for international mobility, of faculty stand, a key aspect is for cross-international cooperation is mobility. And we force not only the faculty to move in order to promote them, we require them to go and give seminars and participate in different conferences, but the staff as well. We give money for the staff to move to other universities to create network of staff, because it's the way to get the different universities getting close to each other. And of course the students. As I said, our goal is that 100% of our students before they graduate, they spend a semester or a year abroad. We are far from that goal. As I said, more or less it's 40% of our students. So, but we still have a long way to go. But I think these are the key aspects for cross-continental cooperation. That was the main goal of this talk. So thank you.